Michael, how are you feeling after the weekend? You've obviously given yourselves a bit of a platform with that draw. Is the mood as good as you would expect going into the second leg?
Yeah, the mood's fine. I think it's one game out of the way. We said going into the game, you know, it's two-legged affair, but it's one game effectively, and but it is part of that out of the way. It's a clean slate. I said that after the game. It's a fresh start in some ways for both teams. We've played each other twice now. It's 2 draws, so it's obviously tight. But we look forward to the game. It'll be a new game. It'll be a different game to what the other 2 have been, because they've been slightly different as well. But yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Yeah, I can say it's the one team I think who you've obviously maybe not blown away, but it's been very, very tight between you, as you allude to there. Do you expect it to be like that right down to the wire, and is this the sort of game that could easily go on to extra time and penalties?
You just never know, do you? You just never know. I think, of course, the 2 games so far have proved that. Defences probably have been on top. They defend very well, don't give a lot of space away, especially around the edge of the box. But you've got to find a way to overcome that. And defensively, we've been pretty good as a team, but we know they've got threats that at any given time, just as we have, can turn the game. And it's definitely these type of games, you know, you can never really plan ahead of what type of game it's going to be, because of what's at stake, and historically how these games have proven to turn out. So we always expect the unexpected anyway, and we've got to be ready for that. Could be tight. One goal might open it up. One early goal either way might open it up. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Talking about goals, Coventry, I think you scored against every team at home since you took over as manager back in October. You're at home. You did so against Coventry a week or so ago as well. That must give you hope that if you get a goal or 2, that'll be enough to see you through.
Wouldn't get too carried away with that one. We just, yeah. Listen, what does give us confidence is what the boys are capable of, without doubt. You know, that you can draw on that experience, and we've come through certain situations this season and found goals when we've needed them, and a cluster of goals when we've needed them. So I think that always gives the boys, more importantly the boys, the confidence of that it's possible. But it's proven difficult obviously over the last couple of weeks, so we know the challenges ahead, and we know it's not going to come easy by any stretch. So we got to find ways and beat our best, and you know, looking forward to seeing if that's enough.
Your defenders kept a clean sheet on Sunday, despite the fact that I think the Coventry fans did their best to give them a dodgy night's sleep the night before by setting some fireworks off outside the hotel. How much does that say about how good your team are and how good they are at concentrating on what they have to do?
Yeah, the boys done well. It was a real disciplined kind of focused performance, especially from the back 4 and 2 in front protecting them. I thought the 2 midfielders, Alex and Hayden, screened very well, and behind that we dealt with their threats well, and that's part of it. You know, that's not us thinking, and we've cracked it, we've nailed it. There's a whole new job to do, and but the boys did well, very well. I was really pleased with them, and hopefully that'll give them a good boost of confidence and belief again going into this next one.
Can we expect the Middlesbrough supporters to follow suit and maybe give the Coventry players a bit back what you guys got on Sunday with the fireworks?
Oh, fireworks, I don't know. I said to you after the game, I had a little chuckle and woke up and went back to sleep. But you know, fans are fans. The atmosphere, they want to create the atmosphere. For me, it's about in the stadium, the atmosphere and the energy, and how the boys can feed off it. You know, we'll prepare and we'll plan, and we'll go into the game exactly we would as any other game. But I think there's no hiding that extra adrenaline, that extra spark that the supporters inside the stadium can create for us is vital to give us that boost. And I'm sure the boys will feed off it and feel it, and hopefully respond to it very well, but it won't affect in terms of how we prepare for the game. That'll be a natural kind of feeling that we'll benefit from. We
know what the Riverside's like when it's rocking. Do you expect fireworks to be going off inside there? It should be a special occasion.
Hopefully, yeah, of course. I expect the atmosphere to be bouncing, to be loud, to feel that support. The boys have to feel it and feed off it, and then it's up to us as a group to, you know, to give that back and reward that. And as I said, it won't be easy. They're a good team, so we're not taking anything for granted by any stretch, but we'll look forward to the challenge.
I remember you saying earlier on in the season that your son was going to quite a lot of the games, I think the away matches as well, and he was beginning to give you a bit of advice on what you should do. What's he been saying ahead of the playoffs?
No, he's left me to it lately. He's left me to it.
You've been doing too well.
They'll be at the game. Obviously, it's great for the kids and my family to be involved. Of course, it is. And they're at an age, both of them now, my son and my daughter, that they do like the football, do like watching, and it is nice to share with them because they fully understand it. 13 and 15 now, so time flies.
And just finally from me, in terms of team news, you had Marcus Gross and Dale Fry back and on the bench. Are either of those ready to start the game?
We'll have to see. Obviously today was quite light. Boys done a little bit of running after the game yesterday. There's a tiny top up. Today was light. We'll just have to judge that. There's a right balance in the squad of some boys have played every game, some boys haven't played much but have come back in, and other boys are coming back from injury. So we'll just have to get a balance of who's in good shape by tomorrow. And
Johnny Howson and Aaron Ramsey, could they be in the squad?
They travelled. We took everybody to the game because it was the whole squad. We wanted to keep everyone together. Everyone's been a massive part of it, so it was important we did that. Some are a little bit further away than others, but we got to stick together.
Are you nervous about the game itself? Are you nervous about the chance of potentially reaching the final and what it means for the area and the club?
I wouldn't say nervous. No, I'm not nervous at all. I think excited with what's ahead. Of course, there's a natural excitement that comes with it, but it's not nervous, not anxious. I trust the boys 100%. So from that side of things, no, looking forward to it, of course.
When you took the job here, could you have imagined, when you joined, that you'd be in this position at the end of the season? I mean, I suppose you'll have hoped for that, maybe even automatic, but it's gone really well, hasn't it?
Yeah, what's done is done. To be honest, what's done is done. We're here now. Said it last week. Whatever's gone on in the league, whatever we ended up, whatever points, whatever games we won and lost, now it's a whole new ball game, and it's one leg of it's ticked off. The next one's here, and so that's it. Full focus on that. Not looking any further. Not looking any further back either.
In terms of not looking any further, you won't have had any discussions with the chairman then about sort of next season, because I guess it'll all depend on what division you're in.
Yeah. There's a lot obviously on that. We have done in the past over time, of course, because you've got to have some sort of plan both ways. That's just good planning and good business, really. You've got to look after certain things, but right now, it's not a focus at all. It's about the game and trying to get the right result.
I know you were saying there that you're hoping that the Riverside will be rocking. What is your message to the supporters ahead of the game?
More of the same. The support's been incredible since I arrived, and I know seeing the boys' response, how they do respond to it, and how they feed off it, and more of the same. Be as loud and as enthusiastic and supportive as you possibly can, because it really makes a difference and create that natural boost of energy, and hopefully we can give them something back as well.
I know you said you're not nervous. Are you excited?
Yeah, there's a level of excitement. Yeah, without getting carried away. Of course there is. There's we got a job to do. Don't forget. So we're not coming just to enjoy the occasion. We got a bit of business to take care of, and there's a way of going about that. So we're staying level-headed with that and concentrating on a performance really that hopefully will get us the right result.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah, not much further. I'm just wondering, what's it like to be in this position at the moment, and what's the atmosphere like here this week? Would you say?
Honestly, it's pretty normal, to be honest, in terms of the training ground, in terms of how how the boys have been. I'll be honest. At one point, you're thinking, is it? Definitely don't have to motivate them. Is it a case of having to bring them down a little bit, too kind of energetic too early? But the boys have managed themselves fantastically well all week, mentally and physically, and so in many ways it has been normal. There's no getting away from the situation it is, but you probably wouldn't sense it from being in around a group.
How do you keep a lid on expectations and pressure in a build-up to a game like this?
Don't think you can really. I think it's for us to. I've said it a few times now. We don't see it as a pressure. We see it it's a real privilege to be in a position where you're fighting and trying to achieve something and have a level of success. Great position to be in. So we're trying to relish it and embrace it and look forward to the next game.
Thank you.
Damien? Michael, in your experience, what makes the difference in games of such fine margins?
There's a lot of things come into it. There's a lot of things come into it. I think no game of football is ever the same as another. Taking your chances and taking your moments and capitalising and at the right time is a big part of it. You know, there's momentum swings in games, and it's managing them times a lot of the for a lot of the game, and there's never one thing that defines it. You know, it's moments. It's in certain moments that go your way. It can be a mistake. It can be some brilliance or some magic. Hopefully, it goes our way.
Well, as you say, it could come down to a single moment, and your potential match winners, your tubers, and your Camerons, they've got to be ready to seize that moment, haven't they?
It could be anybody. It could be anybody. You know, the boys have got to be ready. There will be for sure. And yeah, who knows? As I said, expect the unexpected. Sometimes it's somebody who no one would really put a bet on them making the difference. So everyone's got to be ready, and there will be.
Is it as much about keeping your nerve as anything else in situations like this?
I think your mentality, your mindset. Is your most powerful tool, really. I think there's a lot of people with skills and attributes and abilities. In the end, I always found it comes down to what's going on between your ears, really, of what you think and what your focus is, how positive are you, your belief, your confidence. I think that has a huge impact on your performance, and certainly, like you said, about taking moments when they come, being in the right space mentally is crucial for that.
I mean, Keith mentioned the fireworks. You don't come across as a man who's lost much sleep over football matches throughout his career. Is that just your character?
Yeah, I'm generally a good sleeper, yeah. Fortunate with that. Yeah, obviously sometimes after games, before games I sleep well actually. Most of the time before games I sleep well. Sometimes after games, if it's a night game especially, it's worse when I was a player, because that little bit more adrenaline and that going through your system. But most of the time I sleep pretty good.
Particularly since becoming a manager, Michael, has there been kind of moments where games have, you know, you struggle to switch off after a game, and you know that you have struggled to sleep because of it? No,
I was worse as a player sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you mentioned training, did a bit of light training today. Tomorrow, I presume, is a normal training day. What will Wednesday be like? Do you do anything on the morning of the night game, or do you just, you know, meet before the game? Yeah,
normal prep. Really, we're not doing anything different for this game as we wouldn't normally do. We obviously we came in today, done a little bit. We'll do a little bit tomorrow, and we'll come in on Wednesday morning and finish off what we need to finish off. Yeah, it's pretty normal procedure, really.
Yeah, and it's, you know, two games with Coventry, 2 draws. If it's the same again, as we said, it could be sorted by a penalty shootout. Will you practice those at all in training?
There's a lot of things that could be and can go your way, can't go your way, could end up this, could end up that. Yeah, we'll be ready for whatever's thrown at us.
Yeah. I mean, you were involved in a big one in 2008 in Moscow. You took one that night. What's it like taking a penalty in a shootout?
Yeah, I'm not getting caught up in the shootout scenario, to be honest. If it comes, it comes. We'll be ready for it if it needs to be, but that's almost irrelevant at this stage. We've got the game to play, so we'll look forward to that first.
You mentioned screening the defence, Alex Mowat. I mean, we knew his situation obviously until a couple of weeks ago. He hadn't played much. I mean, in you know, this pivotal moment, he really did step up. He seemed to play a really important part yesterday.
Yeah, I've said to you for some time about the squad and how important all the players were, and some lads who maybe weren't playing at a certain time, and I knew that boys are going to play a big part at big stages of the season. Alex has come in the last few weeks, and whenever he's played, he's done really well, and more of the same. You know, we've got such a tough choice to make in midfield, and with the balance with obviously Dan, and every game is tough, and I say that to you all the time about it's never easy just to pick a team, and but Alex and Hayden done ever so well the other day, so we'll have to see what Wednesday brings.
Just one on injuries, Michael. With Aaron being there yesterday, is he back now with you?
He's still a little bit both, to be honest.
Right. Noticeable in the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes yesterday was how calm you were on the ball. It was a red hot atmosphere, got your foot on the ball, dominated possession. That shows courage, doesn't it, in a game of that magnitude?
Yeah, definitely does. I think it takes a lot of belief, a lot of confidence in each other as well, and definitely as a player individually, you've got to have that. There's all sorts of, you can describe courage and bravery in all sorts of different ways, but showing what you can do, getting on the ball, taking the ball, and what some might say is a tough situation, you got to be able to deal with that, and the boys did well at that. Something that we generally have been pretty good at as well through the season. So I was pleased how they managed that.
And it's similar on Wednesday. I know obviously the crowd are going to be behind you, but again, it's going to be tense. The atmosphere is going to be there. Is that the message to say? Just
you got to back yourself. This is the time to back yourself even more than normal, and do what you're good at. You got to trust yourself and do what you're good at. The boys are all here for a reason, and both teams are here for a reason because two good teams. But certainly individually and as a team now, that's what I say to the boys a lot. You've got to back yourself and believe in yourself, and these are the moments that you build up for and work towards.
And tapping into that believing in yourself, I was reading Johnny Howson was saying you'd watched back again and again the Preston goal. It was back to front, Stefan, and I can't remember who scored at the end. But is that kind of saying, look, this is why we do this, and this is how it works? Yeah,
I'll be honest, I don't overplay going back and showing the boys too much. Now and again we'll look at something, but it's not don't try and overdo that. I think the boys feel that themselves, but of course there's we're trying to develop the principles of how we're playing, and the boys need to feel that success in doing that to kind of snowball that belief and confidence as well, and over time we've managed to do that. And we've played some good football, which is nice, but it's winning football now that really counts.
Just on you, I watched the video with Owen last week. You were talking about how you love every sport. Who do you admire away from football, and who did you admire when you were a player?
Truthfully, any sportsman or sportswoman who's at the top of their game and stayed at the top of the game, I think it's all very different. Every sport's very different, but then as saying about the mentality and that mindset and the consistency to be able to do it over and over again, I could reel off a whole host of individuals, but for me, longevity and consistency at top level is fully respectful from my end.
And I know you say you could reel off a whole host, but is there a few?
The obvious ones, I think, the obvious ones, Tiger Woods, Federer, people like that. It's nothing new. I think we all respect them and understand. But and then players that I've played with, the likes of Giggsy and Scholes at United have seen it for so long, so closely, really, and for learning so much off people like them and players like them and men like them was,
And in management, is there any coaches or managers, again, maybe away from football, who you look up to the same?
Not massively. I do like rugby union. I like the Lions, and obviously watching the Lions videos over the years. And different manager there, Ian McGeechan from Jim Telfer for his famous speeches, and I think that was South Africa '97, I think. And, living with the Lions and that type of thing, I do like seeing a different perspective on. There's different ways of talking to groups and leading groups and motivating. So trying to pick from as many different kind of scenarios as I can, really.
Thank you.
Anything else for any more?
Yes, just a couple. Tuba's not scored for 3 games.
Disaster, eh?
It shows how good a season it's been that it's the first time he's gone through, or second time he's gone through 3 games. I think he's delivering on the big games is probably what he wants to do. Have you got any message for him, or do you just let him get on with it? And would it be good for him to get back in the goals?
It'd be great for him to get back in the goals. I'm sure it will be, yeah. Listen, it's just ongoing. It's ongoing. I think it's not a big major concern. I think we all know Juba, Cam, Riley, Marcus, Izzy, whoever's in and around that front line, Crooksy, Rodrigo. We say the same things to them, giving them the same messages, and it's up to them to go and find out that little bit of magic and find that moment. You can coach and help and guide so much, and then that's that little bit of feeling, and that's why they are what they are, and that's why he's done what he's done this season, because he finds that more often than not. So I fully believe Tuba will it'll be fine. There's no concerns with that.
Having a 20-goal striker can give you an edge in these occasions right at the end of the season. That's such a brilliant.
Hopefully, yeah. Time will tell. Time will tell. Just because we got certain players doesn't mean that it's all going to fall into place. We got to go and make it happen. And
do you think? I mean, have you analysed the goal that was disallowed from the other day and seen if it was offside or
close one?
It was. I mean, it didn't. We were waiting for the lines to come up, but you haven't got them. But
yeah.
Have you looked at it back?
I've looked at it. It was tight. I have to say it was tight. Yeah. I've not overanalyzed it because it's nothing we can do about it. So it's wasted time and energy, to be honest with you. But it was very close. Yeah.
Should I just ask a couple at the end, if that's all right? You seem to have quite a warm relationship with Mark Robbins. How far do you go back, and can you just talk us through that?
No, that's the first time I've met him.
Is it really?
Yeah. First time I met him.
But obviously he's done a great job. How does somebody like yourself with 8-9 months experience as a manager compete with somebody who's got 20 seasons as a manager? Is that a big imbalance?
No, it's a very good question. I think I have to say for the job that Mark's done has been incredible, really, when you look at the start of the season with the pitch and the stadium scenario that they had and how far they've come and how good a team they are. For pure respect for the job that he's done. I think he's done a fantastic job. And yeah, of course, that's part of the challenge for me. I've coming into a job like this and going up against, as a player, you're challenged all the time against individual players, and they spoke about a bit, and obviously in this situation, and you're going against guys that have got a hell of a lot more experience at different levels and different situations than me. But I got to trust, from what I know, my experience, my staff, and the biggest thing for me is trusting the players. So. And enjoying the challenge.
You're both Old Trafford old boys. Which one of you has been on to Sir Alex mostest?
Another one on that one. Nah, listen, I speak to him a fair bit. I said that the other day. So it's not a one-off, to be honest.
Could I just ask you about Hayden Hackney? How would you describe what you knew of him when you came in, and then his development over the season?
Yeah, well, I didn't know a great deal about Hayden. Before I kind of maybe getting the job or the opportunity of getting this job came into play, then I started watching a bit and realising what he could do, or potentially what he could do. And he obviously played in a couple of the games before I came, so I seen that. But I couldn't ever really hope for him to have played every single game and to be. I don't think you can really, as a young player who hasn't had much experience. Went to Scunthorpe last year and had a loan, and so you never really know with young boys. I've said it a lot about until you give them the chance and the proper chance, you never really know how it's gonna turn out. But he's just kept going, strength for strength. Doesn't take much managing, doesn't need much from me. Just gets on with his job, gets on with his business. Real pleasure to have in the squad.
You have to remind yourself of his age, because he was so good yesterday. But he'd been so good on many occasions, but yesterday as well is just like it.
It's easy to take for granted now, I think, because he's been so consistent. Yeah, and as I said, he hasn't needed much looking after, if you like. Not that he's a baby, but I've not really needed to guide him so much, or I've let him develop himself a little bit really and learn on the job, and it's always a challenge for me of how much and when to try and help him and give him bits. But to be honest, he's been fabulous. He's got on with it, keeps improving all the time, keeps adding to his game all the time, and as you see, yeah, like you say, yesterday didn't faze him, plays his football, and it's a real joy and pleasure to watch.
We always say that about there's local pride in a local boy coming through. Do you feel that?
Oh, without doubt, yeah, of course. Well, of course, I think it's a bonus in some ways. When you get one like Hayden, as a local lad, to have such an influence in the first team so young. It's great. It's what the academy's geared towards. It's what the club's geared towards, and why so many people work hard throughout the academy to produce players like Hayden. So hopefully there's a few more in that system.
Have you seen them? Have you seen any?
I've seen a few.